And hello there, my fellow witches and wizards. Reverend Peter coming to you from the Gothic Chamber sitting room. Yeah, we're just going to have a quick little update, just a little chat, if you will. Something that's been on my mind lately. I want to get out there. I want to address, throw my hat in the ring, if you will. But just a few quick updates. Hope everyone's doing well. And Biden won. Big shocker. Pretty sure there was the Gothic Wizard did a tarot reading right before the couple days before the election, and said basically called it. Yeah, yeah. Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, it's almost like Reverend Peter knows what he's doing. Almost. Sometimes, yeah. But on a serious note, yes. So that happened. We still got the orange potato. Got to deal with him for a little bit longer. You know, bunch of imaginary legal challenges and what have you, but just things, just trying to cook up to his lawyers, just trying to appease him and make a quick buck. From reports, Rudy Giuliani is getting paid $20,000 a day to be his lawyer for this legal farce. Um, if they want to hire me, if the Trump campaign, I'm going to put this out there, if the Trump campaign wants to hire me for $20,000 a day to get in front of the Four Seasons landscaping company and start reciting scenes from My Cousin Vinny, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just in the interest of unity and coming together, I will do it. But yeah, so that's good news. In all seriousness, we got President-elect Biden and uh, Vice President-elect Harris. So I'm really excited about that. I didn't do a video last week. You know, it was after the holidays. I really wasn't. Didn't really know what I wanted to really talk about. I had an idea, which we're going to talk about a little later, brewing, but nothing really was clicking for me. Speaking of videos, after some pondering, I have decided to cancel my Witches Box subscription. The Witch's Moon is still, I still have a sub to that because I'm consistently happy with them, as most of you who watch this knows. However, after 2 boxes, I said I was going to give it 3 boxes. Now, if this third box comes in and it's a 10, like 10, not a 7, not an 8, probably not even a 9, but a 10, and it blows my proverbial socks off, then I'll resub. But as of now, after the 2 boxes, they weren't bad boxes. If you go back and see my videos, I think I gave them ratings around a 6 or 7 or so. Not bad, you know. That's definitely easily a passing grade. But is it? Do I feel it was worth the was it $55 or so, or 55, 65, somewhere around there? Uh, Not really. It's hard, I thought beat the Samhain box because that was my first box. I thought that was going to blow my socks off. And being Samhain, and I thought this was going to be a great box. And when we opened it, it's all right, but nothing really stuck out. Nothing really grabbed me. As I, now perhaps my expectations were a little too high. That could be it. That some of that could be on me. I was very spoiled by the Witch's Moon, as some of you who've watched this channel for a while know, I've been subscribed to that for several years now, 3 years plus. Very happy with it. More times than not, it's an easy 7, 8, 9. Gotten a couple tens uh, in my rating scale, and it's just a consistently very very good stuff. I mean, I have my critiques. As again, if you look at some of my videos or you've seen some of my videos about the unboxing, I certainly nothing's perfect in this world. Very little is perfect in this world, but they usually on average, I'd say probably a solid 8 out of a scale of 1 to 10 rating, in my opinion. So really really good stuff, and you get some very and a lot of times you get some very unique items that are exclusively to them. You can't buy it retail, you can't find it online unless someone resells it after they open their box. So like the hardcover edition of the Scott Cunningham herbal magic book, I mean, that right there, that's just amazing. So yeah, so I just so I canceled it. I had already paid for this third box that's on its way. We'll do an unboxing. We'll give them a third third time's a charm, and we'll see. We'll see. But as of now, I have canceled that subscription. So we'll do one more box. If it totally blows our socks off, I will resub to it. Otherwise, after three, you know, decent boxes, but nothing phenomenal. I feel that's the right thing to do. And lastly, if you have it, I am probably next weekend. I will start my tarot series. It won't be constant. I won't be tarot intro to tarot one after week after week after week. I'll probably do a tarot, then we'll do an unboxing, go back to tarot, do something about interesting thing with witchy, pagany, mythological history. Then back to the tarot. So we're going to mix it up. This certainly isn't going to be a dedicated tarot course channel. But I think next week, I think we're going to start the 101 series, focusing on the tarot and the associations with the tarot. That'll probably be the first course. Then the second video in the series will be the major arcana. So, so yeah. So that's all the updates. I hope everyone's staying safe from COVID. Wear a mask, of course, if you have to leave your home, or you're among others, social distancing, all that good stuff. Very, very important. And it's good news that we got a little bit of apparently two, maybe three companies at this point. I thought saw a third one. Uh, Apparently, there's a vaccine. Now, I am pro-vaccine. I am. If you look at my social media, I'm always pro-vaccine. I take to task the anti-vaxxers. I think they're dangerous. They're misinformed, and they're pretty ignorant. But I do have a little bit of concern with the way they're rushing this. I definitely don't want to get on the anti-vaxxer bandwagon, but on the flip side of the situation, I do have my concerns that this may be rushed so much that there might be some long-term health effects that because usually when it comes to these things, they're trial and tested for 2 to 4 years, so you can potentially see what if there's long-term side effects. And I understand they got to rush it because we got to get this situation, this basically this modern plague under control, and I totally understand that. In the end, I'm sure I'll get the shot myself and cross my fingers, but that doesn't mean I don't have to have my concerns. So I really am hoping that with that news, that we don't end up having a swath of people with some sort of long-term health problem, in our rush to get COVID under control. It's a double-edged sword, you know. If we don't rush it, then COVID's, it's going to get even worse than it is now. And if we do rush it, then there's potentially some risk, long-term health risk. So how do you? It's tough. It's tough. There's no real answer. There's no. It's just shades of gray, and you just got to roll the dice. So, but I, but because we live in a capitalist society and companies don't want to get sued, I'm going to lean toward that these companies have done enough testing and have enough background data on other vaccines and medicines where how everything interacts with each other that they've pretty much ruled out there being any massive health issues long term. So, but overall, that's good news, and because we got to get this COVID situation under control, so then thus we can get our economy back together, and hopefully, uh, it's just my heart goes out to all these people who are getting evicted and losing their jobs, and they don't know where their next meal is coming from. It's just a horrible, horrible situation, and unfortunately, there's no easy fix. But hopefully, with the new administration in January, we can start getting this country back on track. So, last thing I want to talk about now, I if you are on my personal Facebook page, I talk about a whole swath of range of topics, everything from PC gaming to politics to science to history to witchy pagan stuff, everything. And then I have my fan page, which is pretty much 95% dedicated to magic, witchy, esoteric, mythology, history, that kind of stuff. Um, so that way, people who don't want to partake in my politics or my other interests, they can just subscribe to my fan page and just mainly just deal with the kind of witchy esoteric topics that focuses on. However, as of late, now we are going to talk a little bit about politics. So if you just wanted the update and you don't want to hear about this particular topic, now I wish you well, and I will see you next video. For those who do want to know what I have to say about this is an issue that I've seen, that's been bubbling in the Neopagan online community for some time. And it's really shown a very ugly face. And it's something that needs to be addressed. We need to all speak out about it. And, even though it's a difficult conversation to have, it's uncomfortable to question people, even confront people about it. It's something we need to do, or we're going to lose the narrative in this conversation. And the topic is this: I am seeing a lot of people from the whole spectrum of the neo-pagan New Age community. Everything from, you know, crystal readers and Reiki reader, Reiki healers and people who don't even consider themselves witchy, or they're just the 60s hippies kind of thing from the way on this end, and then we got all to the die-hard witches and wizards and necromancers and warlocks and everything else on the other end, and everything between. And I've seen this along the entire spectrum here of people claiming to be witches, heathens, druids, warlocks, wizards, uh, that have a very right leaning political view. And, and that really confuses me. It really does. I don't understand how you could be involved in a movement, whether you consider it unless you consider it your religion, like if you're involved in Druidism or Wicca or what have you, or more of a a spirituality like witchcraft or what have you, or any or anything in between that is all about self awareness, all about the environment, worshiping nature, or at least at the very minimum, revering nature, uh, bringing, about being open minded and accepting uh, people. And how you go from that to a political view, which is basically the opposite of all of that. you know, and a political party that wants to strip and basically disband the EPA and water and air protections, strip those and depreciate those to open up swaths of natural forests and federal parkland to drilling and mineral exploration to their less than subtle bigotry and racism. Everything from wanting to treat the LGBT community as second class citizens and to outright looking the other way against police brutality against black people and other minorities. I just don't understand how in their mind the two they rectify the two and where it makes sense to them. I and this isn't just a handful of instances. I mean, it's gotten to the point where there is a group of Astaru, people who focus on the Nordic um, paganism, Freya and Odin, Thor, and Loki, what have you. There's a splinter of them who have taken that to say, oh, well, if you're involved in Norse paganism, you have to basically be a white supremacist because they're only blue-eyed, fair-skinned, blonde people, and so basically the same logic Hitler used for the mandate of cleansing races, the policies where those come from. Basically the same logic, and and there's these groups online that promote that they claim they're Astaru or Norse pagans, and then you dive a little deeper into those groups or uh, you know social circles, and it's they're just promoting white pride and white nationalism, and it baffles me. It just baffles me. And in fact, a little side story. There is a store in Salem that I have documented evidence, screen caps, and uh, emails and what have you of some of the owners and um, past employees who used to work there, basically outright either either promoting white nationalism or on their literal web page, which they've obviously taken down once they got called out for it, promoting books written by pro white supremacy authors. Like, I just, I, it just, you know, and this is happening, and this is happening in real time. We are seeing our subculture being subverted by these horrific and very disturbing people and groups that are trying to worm their way into under the Neopagan umbrella, and the we need. This has been going on for years, and it's finally kind of hitting a breaking point where it isn't just some very fringe groups, very fringe social circles on the outskirts that oh, we just ignore them and they'll go away kind of thing. It's getting to the point where not everyone's that extreme, really. I'm not saying not all these, not certainly not everyone on the political right side of the spectrum are white nationalists or what have you. But those Wiccans and witches and wizards and warlocks and what have you that voted for Trump, and this is the kicker. They may not, certainly not all of them are racist, certainly not all of them are bigots. You know, certainly not all of them are white national supporters, but they made a conscious choice that bigotry, racism, and white nationalism and things and demeaning and demonizing poor people and such, those weren't deal breakers. They don't necessarily have to be on board with it, but they weren't. But those were not deal breakers to them, and that is what a lot of these people that I'm referring to in the, on the right side of the political spectrum that are claiming they're druids, witches, and Wiccans and what have you. That's the majority of with of these people, and I've talked to many. I've talked to a fair amount, and they put on their profile, proud heathen, proud pagan, proud witch, blah 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 blah, and then you talk to them, and they're against social services for helping poor people because they're all scammers and they just want a free ride. They're against universal health care because well, if people can't pay for health care, then that's on them. Uh, they're the we got to stop the Mexicans from coming across the border. They're taking all our jobs. Um, you know, yeah, and, it just it just baffles me how your alleged religion or spirituality is is contradicted by your political beliefs, but yet that just no light goes on and says, you know what, these are two opposing belief systems. Um, so either they don't really understand the alleged religion or spirituality they're trying to practice. Either they don't understand it, or they do understand it, and they do understand that political beliefs are in contradiction to their spiritual beliefs, but their political beliefs are more important. Which makes me wonder, are they really a witch? Are they really a wizard? Are they really a druid? Are they really a star? Are they really a heathen? I say no. And now, while we can just look the other way and say, oh, I don't personally know any, or if you see them on social media, oh, just sweep it under the rug. Because let's be honest, that's easy. That's the easy way to go about it. Just sweep it. Just ignore them. Uh, look the other way. Yeah, that's one way to approach it. Is that really fixing the problem, or is that just you taking the easy way out? I'm not saying we all have to get online and go Rambo guns blazing at these people, um, and cause all sorts of chaos. Though that may you know may not be a bad idea at some point. But at least if you see it, you got to have the personal courage to speak up against them and say, "Hey, this that's wrong. That's not what this spirituality. That's not what this religion. That's not what this is. you know, the neo-paganism as a whole. That's not what this is about. This isn't about divisiveness. This isn't about hate. This isn't about demonizing people. You know, and we need to have the internal courage. And I would pose you this question: if you don't have the courage to speak up and defend your convictions and what you are part of, then how empowering has witchcraft or wizardry or druidism or what have you? How empowering has that been for you? I'd say probably not a whole lot. So, and I know that's Reverend Peter hitting the fields there. Reverend Peter going right for the heart. But am I wrong? You might not like the fact I said it. You might want to take an emotional knee-jerk reaction to that and start typing away. But is Reverend Peter really wrong? I don't think so. So that's just something I want us to ponder. I'd like us to stick up and put these people down and not let them subvert our subculture, subvert our religion, subvert our spirituality. Because silence is the same as acceptance. And if you dispute that, then I strongly suggest you pick up a book about what happened in Germany in the 1930s. That is a literal textbook case on what happens when your society, or in this case subculture, begins to get subverted by extreme forces and no one has the personal courage to step in and collectively put their foot down to stop it. So just a little food for thought for us all. Again, I hope everyone's well. If any ideas or all the hate mail or what have you, feel free to hit me up in the comments below, or email me or what have you. I will be happy to address anything in the next video. And with that said, remember to laugh hard, never fear, and always be kind, not only to yourself, but much more importantly, to each other. Blessings.